Hello, welcome back to another video of JavaScript. In this video, we will talk about data types in JavaScript. The programming language JavaScript has several types of data which can be broadly categorized into two main groups. One is primitive data type, another one is the object data type. And in primitive data type, we will discuss about numbers, strings, Boolean, undefined, null. And in object type data type, we will talk about objects, we will talk about arrays, we will talk about the different types of functions. Okay, but it will be not possible to cover each and everything in a single video, so we'll break down all the concepts in different videos. We'll try to cover all the concepts slowly so that you can understand it better way. So let's start with a primitive data type. Over here you can see that in our file JavaScript code folder we have a file.js file, my script, and here I'll write the code for primitive data types. So the first one which I'll discuss, that is the number type of data. So if you write the code over here, you can see there you have to specify, you can specify the let, and then you have to give the number, like number variable, this is the identifier, and after that it will take the value 42 like this one, and this is nothing but the number types of data. And if you'll save it and if you'll run this code, you will if you'll echo it, if you'll try to see it in the console, you'll be able to see the value of the 42, for example. So if you'll write this code console.log, then this particular number will be printed in your console. So let me save it from the keyboard, Control S, and then just click on this button. You'll be able to see that it is printing the output 42, right? In the similar way, if you want to create the string data type, that is also possible. So you have to write let string var equals to hello, and then this is nothing but the string. You have to remember that you have to give the double quote, and inside this you can write your text. So this will be a string data type, right? And if you want to print this particular data type, what you have to do, you just have to write the console log. So here instead of number variable, you have to just give the variable name. So you have to paste the name of your string variable. So Control V, and if you'll save it and if you'll run it, you will be able to see that we'll get hello in our console. So if you'll click over here, you can see that we have a output hello, right? And instead of let, you can use the const or var. So we'll discuss about constant, var, and let in a separate video. One more interesting thing is here. So if you want to check the data type via the code or through the code, what is the data type of this particular number var, that is also possible. Then what you have to do for that, you have to just write this particular code, a type of, and then you have to specify the variable name over here, right? So it will print the type of your variable, or what kind of data it is actually holding, that will be printed on the console if we'll try to check the type of the number variable. So if we'll save it and if we'll run it, you can see that it is showing the number. So number variable is containing a value which is the type of number. So in the same way, if you want to check for the string var, that is also possible. So for that, what you have to do, just you have to write it in the same way, type of, and then you have to specify the string variable like this one. And if you save it and if you run it, you will be able to see that it is showing the string, right? So this way you can initialize the value, you can see the value, or if you want to check verify the data type of it, you can also do this way. You have to just type of, and then you have to specify the name of the variable. So we have discussed here the number and string data type. Other than this, we have Boolean, undefined, null. So let me show those data type also. So if you want to take the Boolean type value which will contain true or false only, then you have to specify the Boolean variable like this one, this is the identifier, and then you have to specify the true or false value. This one is nothing but the Boolean data type. So you have to remember that Boolean data type represent the true or false value. Now let me try to show one more data type, that is the undefined. So you can see over here that I have defined a variable, but I have not assigned any kind of value inside this particular variable, so that's why it will be undefined. So undefined actually represents a variable that has been declared but not assigned any kind of value, so that is the undefined. So if you want to see the value, what would it will print in the console. So for that, let me write the console and log, and I'll show you the value what it is actually printing. So I have just paste over here undefined variable, so I have to give paste over here. So now if you'll save it and if you'll run it, you will be able to see the result. So let me clear it first, and then if you'll run it, you can see that for 42 is for number, this one for hello, that is actually string, and this one for Boolean, and you can see that for this one it is actually printing undefined, and for this two last one it actually showing the number data type and string data type. Now let me show one more example of primitive data type, that is the null. So if you want to take the value null, what you have to do, you have to specify a null over here. So what does it actually mean? Null means it represents the absence of a value. So if it is having the null, it means it's not having any kind of value. And if you want to see the value of it, and if you want to console it, that is also possible. So you have just copy this variable name and paste over here, and just save it, and if you'll run it, you'll be able to see the null. So here you can see that for undefined it is showing undefined, and for null it is showing null. So your question may arise that what is the difference between these two type of data type, that is undefined and null. So in case of undefined, this is a variable that has been declared but not assigned a value, automatically gets the value undefined, so you don't have to specify any special kind of value. JavaScript engine automatically gets the value undefined, so it will assign JavaScript engine it will assign the value undefined. And you know, this is the primitive data type. It is also often indicate the absence of meaningful value of the unavailability of the variable's value. In case of null, it's an assignment value that represents the intentional absence of the object value or any variable's value. So it's intentional, and for undefined, that is the automatically assigned by the JavaScript engine. In case of null type of variable, it is often used to explicitly indicate that a variable or a object property has no value, that is empty. And this one also primitive data type. So you can say that both the null and undefined are used to represent the absence of value. Undefined is typically the default value for variable that has been declared but not assigned, while null is explicitly assigned to indicate that intentional absence of a value or emptiness. It's also important to note that comparing null and undefined with strict equality will evaluate to true, because they are the same value but different type. So when we'll show you the equality operation in the operation chapter or operator chapter, then we'll also compare this null and undefined there also. So at this point of time, just remember that what kind of data type we can use in the JavaScript. So if you want to check the type explicitly, like using the type of operator over here, that is also possible. So let me show you for Boolean, undefined, and for null. So in the similar fashion, you have to write the code like for Boolean variable you have to specify the type of Boolean. In case of undefined variable, you have to specify the type of undefined. For null you have to specify the null variable like this one. Okay, and now let me clear the console, and then I'll save the code once again, and then I'll run the code to show you the result. Now let me click over the run button, and you will be able to see the value of the variable, and then after that you will be able to see the data type number, string, boolean, undefined. And in case of null variable, you can see that it is showing the object, and this will be this type of null variable that I have specified here. It will be treated as a object. Okay, so when we will discuss about the object data type, then we will specify and we will discuss about more about why it is actually showing the object type of data. And just for simple understanding purpose, remember that in case of JavaScript, each and everything will be treated as a objects. So if it is not having any kind of value, so by default it will be treated as an object. That's why whenever it will if there will be a variable and if it is having the value null, it means it will be treated as an object. So in this video we have just discussed about the primitive data type that are present in JavaScript. In the next video we will talk about the object type of data, then I will discuss about the arrays and functions gradually. So thanks for watching this video. See you in the next one. Till then, take care. Bye bye.